Hello everyone, welcome back to BitOxygen Academy. I hope you all are doing good and are connected to me through this channel and learning something useful every day. I am Nilesh Waghela, a lecturer, a programmer and a project mentor. Today we are back with another tutorial in our C++ programming series. The concept we are learning today is very essential and will be helpful not only in your studies but in projects and even in industry job. So as you all can see, today we will go through inheritance in C++. Now, inheritance is one of the major important concept of object-oriented programming. So today's entire session will be done through some fun, exciting and example-oriented way. So let's start. Things we will learn today is concept of inheritance, or rather you can say what is the need of inheritance. Then we will jump to the concept. What is base class and derived class? What are the visibility modes of inheritance and types of inheritance? So before starting the session, let us say a real life example, or you can say inheritance in a layman language. So this is my dad and this is me. My dad is having some card, let it be a credit card or a debit card. Now, just like other cards, this card is also having some important and confidential data or properties such as card number, name, expiry date and CVV. Out of this, some of are very confidential compared to others. Now, I want to buy a phone. So what I am doing is I am purchasing it in online, but I need card or some money for buying this. So I am requesting my dad to give me the card details so that I can continue buying or purchasing my phone, and that is okay. But the only concern my dad is having that the CVV number, which is very confidential, should not be propagated further from me, right? And with this concern he is sharing the data. Over here you can say inheritance is applied, where I don't need to have my separate card, as I can use my dad's card and data because he has allowed me to use that. So now we will see what is the need of inheritance. So for an example, we are making a project. This project is college management system. As most of the viewers are students and are comfortable with working of college, we are considering this example, right? In a project, we will have an entity known as student. This entity is also known as class. Now this entity or student will have some common properties such as name, roll number, branch, semester and many others, but these are essential. That's why I have listed over here. And some behaviors such as setting up these details or initializing these details and getting these details or viewing these details. Now these properties are known as data members and this behavior is known as member function. Apart from student, our college management system project will have modules such as fees payment, attendance management and exam management. The further example will be carried on student and attendance. So I have converted that particular properties and structure into a class in our program, where our class is student and the properties are data members. As we have discussed in our class and object tutorial, that data members should be kept private for security. If you have not yet seen that tutorial, the link is in the I box as well as in the description. So check this out. Over here we have given a name with character array of size 30. Now C++ does not have a string data type, as well as dynamic size of array is not yet possible. So we are having a static size 30. Integer roll number, character branch and semester. Now many of you must be wondering what is the need of defining or declaring separate variables of same type. So this is for just understanding. From next day onwards we will be doing like this, where multiple variables are declared in a same line, and the behavioral functions are done as void get details and void set details, where it does not accept any argument parameters and it does not return any value. Same way the attendance class is made, where the date represents the date of attendance. We have taken 10 because of DD, MM, YY format. The lecture number, faculty name and subject. So which faculty for which subject on which date on which lecture number has done your attendance, which is P or A in a single character. If you want to store present and absent as a whole, you can have a character array. The functions we are having is mark attendance, which will enter the attendance, and view attendance, which will display the attendance. Now in this scenario something is missing. The attendance class represents the date, lecture number, faculty, subject as well as attendance. But whose? Yes, the student data is missing over here. So we will have student's name, roll number, semester. We will initialize this and we need to get these details. But these properties and functions are in the student class. So now what to do? Our program is already having a student class and an attendance class. But I need some of the properties and functions of one class into another class. So we are having many options. The first option we will see is simply copy and paste the needed properties in our attendance class. So as you can see, this name, roll number, semester and set and get details. These are the properties and functions of student class. So we have copy pasted over here. Now the question arises is this approach really helpful and needed? Is it valid? No. Why? Because over here in the same program we are having duplicate properties, wastage of memory, it increases development efforts as well as cost. So this approach cannot be taken. So the another approach is simply no need to make a student class, no need to make an attendance class, and we get all the properties and methods of attendance class into one class. So what we do, we make a single student class and put all needed data and function into same class. So date, lecture number, faculty, subject, attendance, mark attendance, view attendance, everything is put in a student class. Is this approach valid as well? This can be done, but should it be done? No. Why? Because now this class neither represents student properly nor represents attendance properly. So this option is not valid as well. So now what? So we will have third option where we are having a separate student class which is having necessary common properties. We are having attendance class which fully represents attendance only, and there must be some way through which my attendance class can borrow the data of student class. This is done using inheritance. So now inheritance will help classes borrow data and function from other class. So that was the need of inheritance. Now we will see the concept and definition. So if we want to define inheritance, it can be defined as a process by which one class will borrow properties from the another class. This can be done where some of the classes are having common properties. These properties are also known as data and functions. We don't need to define them in both the classes. What we will do, we will use the advantage of C++, which is code reusability, and that can be done using inheritance, where common properties will be declared in a single class which will act as a base or foundation for other classes. The only distinguishable properties will be done in another classes, and this can be done using a symbol of colon. So if you want to use inheritance, we will use a colon symbol. Now we will see the concept of base class and derived class. Through this detailed explanation, you all might have already known that base class is a class from which we will borrow the properties or other class will borrow the property, and derived classes or class is a class which borrows the property. So if we graphically represent this, it will be done like this, where base class and derived class will have an arrow like this. This represents inheritance in graphical terms, where the head represents the derived class and the tail will represent the borrow class. This way, all or some of the functions and properties will be borrowed from the base class. Now, we'll come back to our real life example. Over here, my dad is a base class because he is having the properties and I am sharing these properties, and I am the derived class. In our college management example, now the student will act as a base class, while derived classes will be my attendance, marks as well as fees payment, and we will be having a symbol of colon like this. Now we will see the visibility modes of inheritance. This is also known as access permission or access mechanism of inheritance, and it is also known as inheritance types. So first one is public inheritance. This all is same as access modifier, which is public, private and protected. It is also being discussed in our previous lecture, which is class and object. So you can also check out that as well. Now the public inheritance will say that public and protected members of base class will fall into public and protected sections of derived class respectively. So base classes public member will fall into derived classes public member. Same goes for protected class. Now we'll see one example where we are having a class A and class B. Class A is our base class. Class B is our derived class. X, Y, Z and A, B, C are private, public and protected respectively for class A and class B. Now I am applying public inheritance. So the public data will fall in public and the protected data will fall in protected. So now class B will inherit Y as a public and Z as a protected. One thing we all will keep in mind that C++ never allows private data of base class to be inherited. So X is never going to be inherited in our B, right? Let it be a public inheritance, protected or private. Now the next visibility mode is our protected inheritance. Public and protected members of base class will be into protected section of derived class. So again, in this example, my public and protected member of base class will be given into protected section of my derived class. And the last one is the private inheritance, where both public and protected members of base class will be private in my derived class. So this Y and Z of base class will be private in my derived class. But X is never going to be derived, right? It is not going to be inherited anyway. Now the question over here is, the concern of my dad is any CVV which is shared with me should not be given further or should not be shared further. The question is, how can we achieve this? Where the child class can inherit important data, but child class of my class or me should not use this. That way we can restrict misuse of this data. So give us your answer in the comment how we can achieve this. Now we will see types of inheritance. So inheritance is categorized into 5 types: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. We will have separate video tutorials with demo programs and examples of each inheritance. Now, apart from these recent challenges, we are having another challenge from you, that I am giving you some questions over here and you need to give me an answer in comment box. So first of all, we list all these questions over here and we'll explain this question. You should give your answer in the comment box. So the question is, will every property of base class will be inherited in derived class? Answer like yes or no. Under which situations private member or private inheritance should be used? If all properties can be inherited, then how can we restrict some of the properties in derived class while allowing other properties to be inheritance? Can we inherit properties from one class to another class? If yes, then by which symbols? And we have already seen this symbol. Now we are having this symbol. So which one is used for which purpose? Apart from this, let us also know that after inheritance videos, which video or concept you would like to have. So give your answers in comment box. So this is it for today's session. I hope you like this video. Keep liking and sharing our videos with your friends. The motto of this channel is to reach out as many students as we can of computer IT stream and any other stream. Subscribe BitOxygen Academy in case you have not yet subscribed. You can also follow us on Instagram. How you have liked this video, let us know in the comment section. In case of any queries, inquiries or help, you can also write us an email. Our email is in the description box, or let us know in the comment section. I am Nilesh Wagela from BitOxygen Academy. Be logical, keep breathing, keep programming.